My name is Joe Betta. I may be at the wrong place after listening to some of those talks. I might be in another county. But this is Somerset County. And I think that we really need to talk about why I'm running for county commissioner. Although the candidates and the incumbents already talked about most of the reasons I'm running, I heard no mention of a near $33 million debt that we're paying big bucks interest on every year. Just minor oversight. Anybody here read Peanuts, the comic strip? Lucy, Charlie Brown? Remember Lucy with the football? And Charlie Brown would back up to kick it. He'd run down there and go to kick it. Lucy pull a football out of the way. Maybe 50, 100 times. But still, every time Lucy put that ball up there, Charlie Brown would run and try to kick it, knowing full well it was going to be pulled out. That football is called Route 219. It's a myth. We got a guy down in Bedford who got congratulated for keeping it from ever happening. Why does he want to give up all the business that's going north and south through Bedford and Breezewood area? Oh yeah, he really wants Somerset to get all that business. And this is the reason I'm running. I'm running because I am sick and tired of hearing career politicians talk about the good things and what's going to happen. Oh, the economy. The economy just happened. We had nothing to do with it. I mean, it came upon us and we didn't know it. This is why we need leaders. No offense to school teachers, they do a great job in school. But we need leaders in government. The United States, well, actually the world is going to hell. The United States is going to hell. Pennsylvania is going to hell, and this county is going to hell. And somebody got to get off their butt and get in there who's got some background. If you read my background and my bio that most of you have, I tried to get it to every one of you. I have more here if you need them. I have a background of administration and leadership. When you assume a leadership position, you are never, ever, ever going to please everybody. It's not possible. In fact, if you're trying to please everybody, you're sucking up to people. And that's not a leadership trait. You got to do what you got to do for the benefit of the most of the people. You don't build big parking garages when you're up to your ears in debt. And then I hear these great things that are happening. We have no leadership in the commissioner's office. And there isn't any question that I know where I have to be. I should be there. Even if you didn't pay me, I ought to be there. Someone has got to lead that commissioner's office and get that debt paid down. And someone's got to get in that commissioner's office and do the right thing for something other than campaign funding. It's just a circle. The campaign funds come to them, they get the contracts, whether you need the program or not. Boy, I'll tell you what, I really enjoy that airport runway out there. It's helped me every day. I wake up in the morning, I just can't wait to get out there and look at it. Somebody, someplace, has got to wake up and say, hey guys, we don't need this. We don't need this. Career politicians is the problem, not the economy. When you are focused on getting reelected the first day after you take the oath, there's a problem. And they're nice people. I'm not attacking them personally. I'm attacking the system. Career politicians got to go. They won't even set term limits for themselves. It's a good life. I want to get in there for 1 year, 1 term, and get out of there. And what I want to do is what I've done in all those positions I've occupied for 35 years, is set up some structure and get it organized. I don't know if you've seen that organizational chart at the courthouse. People don't talk to each other. They don't even see each other a lot of days. And then you talk about meetings. We have meetings, they run anywhere from 7 to 15 minutes, dispersing $1 million. Well, you know, the decisions made behind the scenes. That's not in accordance with the Sunshine Law. Decisions ought to be made in a public meeting, not before you walk out and go, 18 months of minutes I reviewed. How many times on any one issue did the 3 commissioners have a objection or not vote all the same? How many times in 18 months? Any guesses? Zippo. All 3 agreed on every issue that came up. And I think they said that. They really work well together. But for whom? It's tragic. It's sad. And you need somebody that's not a politician. You need an administrator. And I'm not going to stand up here and talk about all of the positions I've had. They're on that sheet of paper. Yeah, I'm talking. There was a general who came to visit me in New York City when I had all the Northeast and Europe for the recruiting programs. And I got a call in May of one year, and they said, you know, 30 June is the end of the fiscal year. And you've got a couple $100,000 you haven't spent. If you don't spend that money, you're going to get a reduction in budget. 2 weeks later, I get another call from the headquarters Marine Corps. Hey, you're not spending enough money. 2 weeks later, I got another one, and finally a general, clerk came in and said, Colonel, General wants to talk to you. He said, Giuseppe, you better start spending that money. We only have till 30 June. I said, sir, I'm not going to spend it. I don't need it. I mean, why would I go out and spend taxpayer money? I had an investigator that worked for me in Florida. And I can remember when we caught Nova University with $12 million of overcharges for Medicaid and Medicare funding. They would go out and visit a patient, an older patient in a house. They would charge a Medicaid program for that visit. They would charge the Medicare program for that visit. They would charge the insurance company that the person had for that visit. And sometimes they even had the individual pay some of it. So it came out of state. And I talked to the investigator, and he said, sir, we're not counting that. I said, what are you talking about? He said, that's not our money. That's federal money. Well, after he pulled me out of the ceiling, because I went through the ceiling, and I talked to him a little bit, yeah, it's taxpayer money. It's a game. It goes from federal to state, down to county. And in return, you vote the way the state and the federal and the party leaders tell you. It's a stinking mess, and I don't like a bit of it. We have honorable people occupying positions that have fallen by the wayside by temptation. And any time you vote for an incumbent to go back in office, you're telling him that you don't care. We have to leave this room tonight and find at least 20 other people that will go to the polls on the 17th of May and join us in voting for these 3. Hey, you might leave one of these, I don't know. We can watch them very closely and know what not to do. But certainly 2 people on this side of the room ought to be in that office. And I can't wait to get there. There'll be smoke coming out of there. The more I dig, the more I'll find. God bless you. Thanks for coming out here. And I'd really like to thank that gentleman right there. And don't forget, in addition to the Constitution, you got the Declaration of Independence, and you got the Bill of Rights. It took all 3 to make America what it was. We aren't anymore. We've got less than 200 naval ships. We had over 900 during Reagan administration. We are not a world power. In case you didn't know. And I can remember 3 or 4 years ago, I wrote articles in the newspaper about Rendell and his spending sprees. Well, I learned very quickly that you don't have to be a Democrat to be crooked.